So basically, the basic arrangement of the song is. Then I start singing. Hijo mío, escucha bien a los que tienen experiencia. No juzgues a la gente por las apariencias. Tampoco juzgues las cosas antes del debido tiempo, porque el tiempo revela las intenciones escondidas por dentro. So that was basically what I started off with, you know, and then it just progressed from there. Well, this song is it's called Consejos de mi Viejo, or Consejos de tu Viejo. It's a song that I basically wrote as a father to my son. But not only to my son, I think it's something that could also be shared with many sons, you know. And it's basically, advising the younger generation to listen to those who perhaps have lived longer, who've been there, been there, done that. And that's what the song's about, is taking advice from those who know, who have lived life. So that's what it is. That's what it's about. Consejos de tu Viejo. Basically, from a father to a son. You know, I had the lyrics for a little while. Not the complete lyrics, but I had basically the main chorus or the main vamp. But I didn't find any music to it until recently. You know, and sometimes it takes a little bit to get inspired. In my case, you know, my son actually is, you know, he's about to move out. He's about to make his way, you know, make his own life, move out. And so it kind of took that to inspire me to go ahead and finish the song. You know, from there, you know, from those emotions of, hey, my son is actually leaving, from that emotion, you know, I got the, you know, inspiration to write the song. You know, before my son leaves, I wanted to leave something with him and say, hey, listen, these are the advice I have for you, you know, as you start your life, you know, on your own. So, yeah. So I had the lyrics for a while, but it didn't start to click until just recently.
I know you write in English, and why you choose to write in Spanish this time?
It's more personal, you know, as Puerto Rican, you know, as a Latino, a Hispanic. You know, it kind of resonated. You know, when I was writing the song, I was actually listening to my father, my grandfather, listening to those, you know, when I was young, who gave me advice. And, you know, of course, they spoke Spanish. They gave me the advice in Spanish, and I can hear their words being spoken in Spanish as I was writing the song, and that's how it started to flow. You know, for example, you know, no todo lo que brilla es oro. Tampoco todo lo que es oro brilla. La vida no es color de rosa, porque cada rosa lleva sus espinas. So, see, I can hear my parents, or I can hear, you know, my grandfather saying those words to me, or, you know, so just kind of naturally it kind of flowed that way in Spanish for me, naturally. So, you know, originally I started kind of doing it on my own. And but then I said, you know, I want to work with someone to see if we can kind of collaborate together. And I automatically thought of my friend, you know, personal friend Robson, and who's a great musician, who's also a great producer. I think he's very creative with his production, and he's a natural, you know. And man, I said, yeah, I called him up, I showed him the song, he loved it, and we started working on it together. And of course, you know, it wasn't a surprise to me that he started thinking of certain things that would really fit the song well. He started kind of getting creative, and man, I started liking what I heard, and you know, man, it was just you know, awesome to be able to work with him on that. So initially it was kind of straightforward, but then as I started working with Robson, you know, we started to put our elements to it. I put a little bit of, you know, there's a little bit of a Latin influence there, but also, you know, specifically more of a Brazilian influence with Robson. He started kind of throwing ideas, and man, and I was loving what I heard. But yeah, the arrangement started to kind of progress, and it started to kind of take a little bit of a different direction. Where now we have some Brazilian percussions, you know, and we put a little bit of that element in there. I even threw a couple of you know, Portuguese words in there and it's kind of fun, you know. That's so it's kind of started just straightforward, you know, alternative rock, you know, a little bit alternative, and then it started to progress to something a little bit more world, if you will, you know, world music. We weren't really happy with the loops. There was something missing. The loops were cool, but we were like, man, we need some live percussion. And Robson, upon hearing it, Robson said, you know what? Maybe we can do some olodu, which is a rhythm from Bahia, from Brazil, with African influence. And, you know, he showed me a couple of samples, and I'm like, dude, I want that on the track. It's awesome. So Sidney Amaro, who's a great percussionist, also a good friend of Robson, and also, you know, of what we do here. He's pretty much, he's been around for a while, supporting what we do, and he was gracious enough to just come over and just put the drums on, you know, the Brazilian drums. I think it was what, panderetas?
Yeah, that's the Brazilian tambourine.
Big drum, you know, that he used, and he also used a pandereta, which I pretty much never really seen it played that way. I've seen panderetas played in a different way, but not the way they, you know, not in that Brazilian flavor style. That's just so cool to me. So anyways, he added the drums, man. He added those influence, and it just, man, it's just so fun to hear. Basically, I started with a loop at home. I started kind of just playing around with different loops, and just recording, you know, recording the basic chords, and then we said, you know what, it needs something more. And then Robson actually added to the loop, but there was still something missing. So Robson, you know, has that Brazilian connection. He spoke to some people down in Brazil who put some live drums. They recorded some live drums there, man, and yeah. Shout out to Patrick.
We have Patrick, my drummer. Yeah, good job, man. We got Goliath. We got Sada. So she was doing the video for us. So it's a great job, guys. You did like awesome. I really appreciated all your hard work.
But he put some live drums in there, man, and Patrick just killed it. He did a great job, man, and just brought life to the song.
Aprendiste a montar en bicicleta, a veces te caía y te pelaba las rodillas. Tu papá te levantaba, tú llorabas, él sonreía, tu lágrima secaba y el polvo sacudía. Y aunque él te obligaba a montarte de nuevo en la misma bicicleta para que perdieras el miedo, al poco tiempo tú corrías por el vecindario entero y ahora puedes viajar el mundo.
And then it just progressed from there. That's the gist of it. It's a wrap. All right.